This first one's called the House Fire of 2022. The parade of firefighters directed the requiem, etching their footprints. Sinful rhythms heard in winter silence. On the January snow, stained with ash and smiling through the fumes, there was cremated, her memory, her anguish, her past, all burned. The flames were intoxicating, and I had to burn in it to grow.
Hung out over here, and we could see them from this corner. And I think there was one. They usually hang out underneath the barn. Sorry to my neighbor. I just wanted to say goodbye, if I could. Do you think if I do pss, 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 they'll come out? I could just stand here, wait for them. I get poetic about these things. These aren't going to be the same trees, you know? And it will not be the same grass. The same plants. The same rocks. Maybe that's comforting. It will be, you know? Things change. And you can outgrow a space, and you can outgrow people, and that's life. Nothing is stagnant, everything changes, and everything can be new, and that's the beauty of it. Though it can be scary, but it's okay. You just have to tell yourself that eventually it won't be, and it's okay to be scared. It's normal.
There is not a day that goes by where I don't think of the ship of Theseus. Indeed, it is mixed into an existential cocktail with imposter syndrome that manifests itself into my growing pains. I imagine my younger self as the original ship, and as I grew older, I have replaced behaviors and habits that made up the original ship and renovated it thousands of times. The most notable renovation of my former self is still under effect, and it started over 2 years ago. The house fire that occurred in the winter of 2022 was the catalyst. The flames were intoxicating, and I had to burn in it to grow. That year, I had learned what rock bottom truly felt like. I had no home, forgotten friends, a reflection staring back at me that I pitied, and a collection of hotel cards that expired. I also got COVID. That wasn't fun. People like routines and familiarity. Most times you'll seldom see people change those routines unless the reward outweighs the benefits of staying within what is already known. Each time I think back to that period in my life, it isn't pure sadness or grief. I look back on it with respect as well. This disruption of my life as I knew it, though tragic, was the only thing that could drive me to start my process of growth. So there I was, a pitiful existence, the cup at the back of the cupboard, never used, never filled, forgotten. Or Sisyphus before he found joy in pushing that boulder up the hill. Voluntary change is hard. Involuntary change pushed me to a place where I could no longer run away from growth or deny the beautiful imperfections of growth. Essentially, what more could I lose from changing myself into a better ship if I had already been so outdated?
Yeah. Don't.
The cost of change outweighed the tragedy of what I did not have. I remember the moment this clicked in me very distinctly. The brown hotel curtains were drawn, which let the sunbeams through on the white hotel sheets, and I was laid beside my Shih Tzu. I found escape through mobile games. Naturally, I was playing one on my phone that morning, alone. It frustrated me. I could no longer get my fix of escapism. No longer could I voluntarily blind myself as I stared back at my reflection on my black phone screen. The words, "You died," illuminated the middle of the screen. It hit me, the rush of anger and inspiration to take my blindfold off and face whatever demons I had. There were many things I couldn't change at that moment, though I started with diet and exercise. I had been unfit and failed to be active my whole life. I was also born with a strong appreciation for sweet temptations. I stole my stepfather's meal preparations of rice, shrimp, and mixed veggies. I began entering an LA Fitness at least 4 to 5 times per week. Change was foreign. Change hurt. Change took the form of sweat and tears, changing out my clothes 2 sizes smaller. Change was joy amidst the expired hotel cards and the unknown city we found ourselves in. Change was being able to partake in figure skating after years of becoming a stranger to it. Change was imagining Sisyphus happy. That same year, when we had finally returned to our repaired house, I was no longer hesitant to stare back at my reflection. If I continue to sweat, tear muscles, and run far and fast from the image of myself that I see, then I am an ever-changing ship, a Protean. Or is the reflection I see now part of the same ship I saw 2 years ago? Have I truly changed? Or what demons are still hidden behind that facade? There is not one day that passes where I don't think about the ship of Theseus.